Good afternoon, everyone. I'm constitutional attorney Catherine Henry. And today I just want to invite you to join us tomorrow on Restore Freedom Weekly at noon on our Rumble channel. It'll also be aired on our Facebook channel and, if they let me, on YouTube. But it'll be a great episode. After all, this week is April Fool's Week. So it's important that with everything that's been going on, we don't let the government make a fool out of us. Well, what's one of the best ways to avoid that? Knowing your rights, knowing the limitations that are placed on the government. So this week's topic, of course, all of our topics generally go to that general idea. But this week's topic is resolutions, and are they an enforceable, a legitimate way to enforce regulations against we the people? You hear the term ordinance or statute or law, resolution. Those are all valid things in different contexts. But are resolutions the proper way, the legal, constitutional, appropriate way for governmental agencies to regulate the people? Well, tomorrow we'll go into full detail of the constitutional and legal discussion of that topic. And we're going to go deep on this. We're going to talk about this issue at the federal level, at the state level, at your city or township level. We're going to look at the U.S. Constitution, state constitution, statutes, even the Congress and some state legislature websites give great insight on this. We're going to look at some cases, even the Library of Congress. There's a lot of information out there on this, and yet some jurisdictions get this plain wrong. You might think, no, this one's either, not that big of a deal, or, it's so obvious that, you can only regulate the people with laws, or, the local version of that would be ordinances, that wouldn't really happen. Well, I'm going to tell you why you need to be considering this as an important topic. Of all people, this is just an example, but of all people, Allegan County decided on that very important day, November 3rd, 2020, that they were going to completely throw out the Constitution, state constitution, U.S. Constitution, court rules, court precedent, state statutes, common sense, you name it. They threw it all out the window. And they decided that they were going to come after me and violently arrest me. So they later then denied, when people were contacting their office, if they had actually taken me into custody, if they had arrested me, and they were issuing these public statements and responses saying, no, she wasn't arrested. That's a bunch of BS. I actually was, and I was violently and illegally and unconstitutionally arrested. I had the crap beat out of me in front of my kid, who was only 6 years old at the time. Now, a lot of you knew about it at the time because I actually happened to be live streaming part of it, and then other people who were there, just voters and other people I didn't even know, were there live streaming it because they were shocked at the ridiculousness of three grown men violently assaulting me, little old me. Like, am I that scary that I needed not only one deputy, but for him to call backup and have two additional officers on the scene to physically take me into custody? Because I was doing what? Well, according to them, the whole trespassing case stems from the township clerk's authority under this township resolution, not ordinance, resolution, to essentially be able to, according to them, this resolution allows her to kick off anyone she wants from township property, government, publicly accessible property, anytime during normal business hours and all the rest. Not for, prohibiting other people from accessing the property, not for causing any kind of disturbance or scene or being violent or vulgar or threatening anyone in any way, just because she doesn't want them there. because supposedly in little old Layton Township in Allegan County, they're going to have this huge traffic problem. You guys should look it up on the internet, see how big it actually is. I think they might have had 3,100 registered voters, or maybe it's 3,100 people total. I don't even know. It's not very many people. At any rate, I wasn't even taking up a parking space, but that is what it boiled down to, is that these township officials, this township clerk said, she told these sheriff's deputies who took an oath, they all took an oath to uphold the U.S. and state constitutions, that this resolution that had passed in prior time gave her the permission to throw anyone off this public property when she wanted to, because on election day, you know, they might need to have other people park there. What? So somehow the deputies, without reading the resolution, without reading the law, without reading the Constitution, without using common sense, decided that a resolution is legally enforceable, because, you know, they're opinion enforcers, right? Not law enforcement. Anyway, the whole thing stemmed from this township resolution. Now, am I the only one who's ever had this issue? Is this some sort of quirk in the system and you don't ever have to worry about it happening to you? No, I'm not the only one this ever happened to. And yes, in case you're wondering, this case is still pending, because that was just the tip of the iceberg of all the rights that they wanted to try to violate, and statutes and constitutional provisions they wanted to violate along the way. My case has no chance of ever having a speedy trial, because that ship has sailed. I am now on trial date 6 or 7, currently now scheduled for June 15th, 2022. At any rate, number one, I'm going to cordially invite you to come and attend this trial, which is supposed to be public, you know, common sense and all the statutes and constitutional provisions requiring that kind of thing. But I'm also going to invite you to hear the full discussion on what is actually enforceable as a regulation of the people. Is it a resolution? Is a resolution an enforceable legal tool to regulate the people at the federal level, state level, local level? If it is, why? If it isn't, why not? I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to have the information right at your fingertips. Now, a lot of these discussions, including, I believe it was last week, are much longer than what I really want them to be. I don't want to keep you too long, and quite frankly, I don't want to sit at my computer any longer than I have to. So this week, I'm going to try things a little different. I'm going to invite you to join me on Tuesday for our full episode. Also on our social media platforms, we'll have our true or false question of the week. But I'm going to save our Wednesday way to get involved for Wednesday. It's not just going to be a recap of the way I've invited you to get involved during our full episode on Tuesday. I'll still do the Constitution segment recap on Thursday. Friday will be our freedom fighting tools for Friday. And I will not be discussing those freedom fighting tools during our full episode tomorrow. I will likewise not be going over our biblical insight. I will save that just for Sunday, as you've seen us post it on Sundays in the last several weeks and at least a few months. So I just want to make sure there's nothing else I needed to tell you about. Nope, that's pretty much it. So people around the country, no joke, have been contacting me, quite honestly, continually. This isn't like every single day about this topic, but it is something that comes up and has continued to come up, where they are having all kinds of different government regulations, but specifically regulations termed by resolutions. And that government officials, law enforcement officers, are using these resolutions to prosecute them criminally, to deny them of life, liberty, or property in some way, shape, or form. So this is an important topic. And because we are cutting out all those segments from the main episode and just keeping those on later parts during the week, it'll be a shorter episode. And we do invite you to join us because it's an important topic. So I do hope you'll join us tomorrow. You can join us, like I said, our preference is that you join us over on Rumble, but we will be going live on Facebook and YouTube as well. And we look forward to seeing you commenting and sharing your thoughts during the episode there. And unfortunately, I guess you can hear the wind in my window. That's weird. I don't even hear the wind. So hopefully you've been able to hear me okay and not have any kind of distracting noise behind me. But at any rate, I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, commenting and asking questions. It could be a back and forth dialogue. If you know of a situation, you want to get some clarity to see if a resolution is some sort of permissible way to regulate you or someone you know on a certain topic, please make sure to join us tomorrow and ask those questions because we do get many, many questions later on throughout the week, and it's a little hard to keep up on those, answering those on all the social media platforms as the week goes on. We will also send you the recap in our newsletter on Sunday next week, and I wish you all a wonderful week and that you have a great day. Thanks, guys.